Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a Muslimah reflection. I don't know about y'all, but I'm more of a visual learner. You know what I'm saying? Like I could get it with listening and that type of thing. But I'm one of those show me, let me see what I'm looking at. Like I just comprehend a little bit faster that way. So I'm just wondering if y'all can help me fill in this timeline here because I be real confused. I be real confused sometimes, with understandings. And in order to help people understand, and everybody has their, own individual thought processes. And so in order to process those things and have a clear understanding, we gotta fill in these timelines. So let's check this out. So on the screen right here, we got this little real quick brief timeline of a few things. So, like, it starts off with, 13 years before the Hijrah, the first revelation, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the cave, the Hijrah, when he got Iqra, read, from Angel Jibril alayhi salam. And then it talks about the migration to Abyssinia, and then the year of sorrow, um, and then after that, the migration, the year of sorrow in which the Prophet ﷺ lost Khadija radiallahu anha and his uncle Abu Talib. And then, he migrated with Abu Bakr and Ali. And then we talk about the passing of our Nabi Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then we get into, this beef, right? Now we got some beef going on here. Like, not that we didn't have beef throughout, but what I'm saying? Like I said, help me fill in the timeline. But now we got this beef going on in this little thing. And then boom, then we hit with these courages. And if you don't know too much about all these other little funky little groups, you can check out Imam Abu Hanifa Rahimahullah, his book, Al-Fiqh Al-Akbar. It talks all about those different types of deviant groups. But anyway, so we got this courageous, and then we got this year, the 37H. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when Ali was like, you know what? We ain't doing this. Like we're gonna shut you down. So you know what I'm saying? He had to let his sword down in that moment. And then here come these dang on others. But there's a gap in the timeline. So if anybody can help me figure it out, then let's do it. And then here come these dang on Muslims, right? So notice the timeline or whatever. So I recently when I got Al Hassan Al Basri up here. Notice the time of death 110. The Mutazilites was like, the teacher, the founder of the Mutazilites was like, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like it's time for me to do my own thing. You know how it's always got to be when a pop out. Like he was a student of Al Hassan Al Bashri, but you know what I'm saying? He waited what like 12 years. He was like, you know what? I'm finna pop out. I got my own ideas and I'm finna run with it. Let me see what I can. Let me see what I can conjure up. Let me see what I can cause this drama up in here because it's just a little too quiet around here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always got to be some kind of mischief in the midst. And the connection in all of that is also, if you notice, before y'all get to talking all this mess, well, y'all got Sherry, he was a mother. But guess what though? We all have a past, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a changer of hearts. We're gonna leave it as that because you was once something before you were a Muslim, right? You weren't always deaning, were you? You know what I'm saying? So who are you? Let's figure out this timeline here. So I have Kuleb up here because he was a teacher of Abu al Ashari as well. Um, but he was also a student of Imam Shafi's students. So you see the change. So Imam Shafi was a student of Imam Malik, and we're gonna go on and on and on. And then notice something really cool I want to point out. Jafar al Sadiq was a descendant of Abu ibn Ali Talib radi Allahu anhu, the cousin and the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's pretty cool to know. Another thing to know that he was also the teacher of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So you notice that the chain gets on and on and on, and we can keep going and going and going. So on to the next slide we go. So now we got Imam Ghazali rahimahullah. who was a student of Imam al-Juwayni, who was a student of his father, Ibn Yusuf al-Juwayni, who just so happened to be a student of Abu Bakr al-Khafal, who was a student of Abu Hassan al-Ashri, rahimahullah, to them all. Hmm. Then we got Imam Nawawi, who was a student of Ishaq ibn Ahmad al-Maghribi, who has a connection to Husan radiallahu anhu, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these all have connections, they're chains, but are they broken? Are there gaps? I mean, fill in the blanks here. Oh my goodness. And then we have Ibn Taymiyyah, who was a student of his father and his grandfather. And his grandfather was a student of Ibn Qudamah, who was a student of Abdul Qadir al Jalani. Oh, Rahimahullah. And Abdul Qadir al Jalani is considered to have dual lineage. His father, Abu Musa, by way of Husan, and his mother, Fatima, by way of Hussein, anhu. Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. So these are like, they have connections here. Like they're lining up. Like they have connections and they seem to all follow and go back to each other. Oh my goodness. Imam Sauti. He was a student of Imam Asqalani, who was a student of Al-Bukhini. Hmm. Can we fill in the blank here? Who was the student? Who was Bukhini the student of? Can we take a guess? Girl, you can't count. How you go from 9 to 11? Listen, I am not trying to give y'all no history lesson. Just help me real quick with this timeline though. So we got Imam al-Haddad. He's connected to the Prophet Islam by way of Ba'alawi, which is through his grandson Hussein Rahimullah. But then y'all probably like, who is this person? Al-Savi. Al-Sinzi. Who this person? Who this ninja? His timeline up on here. And then we just start with the Wahab guy. Here we go. She about to start with this bull crap, ain't she? No, 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 we ain't doing none of that. I really need to understand because I need to understand it. So check this out. We got so many people on our timeline, on this timeline that we done went through real quick. And they all had this connection. And then here come this Al City dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's do a little history for those who know and those who don't know. Abdul Wahab, right? So he learned from his father, from his brother, and he had other teachers. And Al Sinzi is just so happened to be one of Wahab's teachers, right? But this particular teacher encouraged him to not follow the ta'liq, not follow the mujtahids that came before him, the pathway of those who made the way, the connection that we were trying to make here. Some timelines is missing, whatever the case may be. Fill in the blanks. Can you help me out with that? But you see what I'm saying, where we're going, but everybody else has like this connection of a pathway, and this particular person come like, yo, bro, you know what I'm saying? I think you should do this. I think you should figure this out on your own. You know what I'm saying? You got the brain for it. You got this. Forget everybody else before you. You could do this on your own. You don't need no one else's advice, pathway, or opinion. You know, you're a movement all by yourself. This is my thought. I'm gonna push it on you. You know what I'm saying? Like that little whisper, that little wash you be having going in, the little bug you need to just like pop in your ear, but sometimes you just feed into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because you get a little cocky with yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? I done learned some stuff. Like, yeah. Got your hype man going. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you get your hype man going, and now you just making your own rules. You like, you know what? Nah, all four of them wrong. All 50,000, 100 of them wrong. Everybody wrong all the way. This connection is just wrong. We just wrong, 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 wrong. Ain't no everybody wrong before me. What you mean? Got my chest poked out right here. Yeah, cause I the man. I the one man. Then what I say goes. 'cause I'm the smartest. Nobody before me was smarter than me. Nobody understood nothing. That's what I'm saying here. All this, all this many a years. Then we come with this. I'm trying to fill in the understanding of how we get here. And then everything that we followed before is a bidah or innovation if it doesn't align with this processing idea. Say it ain't so. How so? Can you make it make sense to me? I'm just saying though.